wow. Just wow. Just when I thought things couldn't get any better from Wave 3, and even partially Wave 4 with the fact that we're getting more characters, Wave 5 still somehow happens to top that with both the track selection that we're getting, the consistency of the tracks, the visuals of the tracks. It just looks great across the board. Like, I wouldn't say there's any, like, iffy, if not subpar track here. Like, all of them look to be at least on a decent level of quality. Actually, honestly, I'd go as far as to say that all of these look pretty good. Like, honestly, the only kind of iffy one here still looks kind of good. With Athens Dash, like, I played that in Mario Kart Tour. That was still a pretty good track, despite some shortcomings with the visuals. But yeah, Wave 5 is just looking pretty great overall. And just for me personally, I feel like I'm just personally really excited because a lot of these picks were things that I've been wanting for quite a while. It almost seems like it's personally catered towards me, as weird as that is to say, because a lot of these tracks are ones that I personally like and ones that I've been wanting for the Booster Course Pass for a while, despite even some of these being pretty unlikely. So yeah, I'm gonna go through some of these tracks and kind of discuss them, as well as like the wave in general, because I feel like this wave is definitely at least on par with Wave 3 in terms of tracks, and I would say it's probably better across the board due to content overall, since we're getting 3 characters. But yeah, in the Feather Cup, we're getting Athens Dash. Like I said, it does look a bit iffy with the buildings and everything, but with the actual raceable portion of Athens Dash, I think it looks pretty good, and it's very distinct from the other city tracks. Like, it has more of like the ancient Greek ruins style to it. Like, it's more of that than a city track. It honestly really isn't that much of a traditional city track. It's more kind of themed around like the ruins and everything, and like ancient Greece and everything. So I think it looks pretty cool overall. I know Demeech is gonna love this track. So yeah, the only iffy thing is the buildings in the background, because they're very like low poly, not much detail to them. They could have made those buildings smaller and more in the distance. But yeah, it is a little weird with how they look, but with the actual monuments and ruins on the raceable portion of the track, they actually look pretty good. It, like, the quality of them, like, aside from the background, and then with all of the other tracks in this wave, I would say the quality definitely is good enough to stand alongside the other tracks, or even, like, the base game tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like, I would say we've gotten to that level at this point. And at this point, like, even though it's obvious that these tracks are based on Mario Kart Tour, I'm so glad that they've actually been making improvements and actually kind of going in and changing a lot of the textures and models from the Mario Kart Tour tracks. This is so far from Wave 1, when they just kind of ported the Wave 1, or ported the Mario Kart Tour tracks in, and just called it a day. No, we're not getting that here. We're actually getting full-on interesting tracks here with, like, I mean, even though they're based on the Tour versions, they actually have, like, textures and models that are optimized for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But yeah, Athens Dash, I would say, is a pretty solid track overall. The general layout is pretty good, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Next is Daisy Cruiser, and honestly, that was actually one that I was a little concerned about for the Booster Course Pass, because I do like the original version of it. The original version of Daisy Cruiser and Double Dash is great, but I feel like in 7, in Tour, I'm not sure if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I feel like it doesn't have the same charm as it does in Double Dash with these other remakes of them. So I feel like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe actually brings back a lot of the charm from the Double Dash version of it, even though it's based on the Tour version. Like, they add things such as, like, Yoshis and Shy Guys at the tables. Like, a lot of the textures look very colorful and lively. It just looks really nice overall. I think there's even, like, Goombas in the pool, which is really cool. It just definitely has a lot more charm than the Mario Kart Tour version, which is really nice to see. And it's really nice to see a Mario Kart Double Dash track kind of be fleshed out like this. Almost to the level of the original version. So I'm really excited about Daisy Cruiser. Definitely a fan favorite, so I think a lot of people are excited about Daisy Cruiser. So definitely a pretty good selection here. And I hope we do get more GameCube tracks from here on out. Hopefully in Wave 6 we get at least 2 GameCube tracks, because the Booster Course Pass has definitely been kind of lacking GameCube tracks overall, because this is only the second one so far. So I'm hoping at the very least, we at least get like 2 in Wave 6. I don't know, maybe we'll only get 1, but I'm just hoping for more GameCube tracks overall. And then the next one is Moonview Highway, which is one of my personal favorite Mario Kart tracks and personal favorite Mario Kart Wii tracks, and one track that I've really been wanting for the Booster Course Pass. I did not think it was likely, because of the fact that it looks kind of similar to New York Minute and kind of looks a bit reminiscent of both the city tracks and Shroom Ridge. Glad it wasn't too similar to Nintendo. Like, I'm glad they actually added it here. Because the thing that sets Moonview Highway apart from the Mario Kart Tour style city tracks is that it's more of a traditional style Mario Kart track, whereas the Mario Kart Tour city tracks are kind of more narrow and have more, like, more kind of, involved path. Like, there's more branching paths and different things going on there. Moonview Highway is more of a traditional Mario Kart city-style track, kind of like Toad's Turnpike from Mario Kart 64, and then Mushroom Bridge and Mushroom City from Double Dash, and Shroom Ridge from Mario Kart DS. More of that traditional city Mario Kart track that you'd expect to see from the older games, and I really appreciate it. I just really like the aesthetic overall, with the fact that you kind of go in between like an area with a lake and mountains, and then go into the city, then go through a tunnel. It's just really cool overall, and I just really like the aesthetic of the city as well. Even though it kind of does look a bit similar to New York Minute, I feel like it does kind of have its own distinct style to it. You're kind of going more on a highway, hence the title Moonview Highway, rather than city streets like you do in New York Minute. So I do feel like it is very distinct, and I am really glad to see it here, since it is one of my personal favorites. And another thing they're doing with this is they're actually adding bomb cars back. I know bomb cars were added back in Mario Kart Tour with Mushroom Ridge and Moonview Highway, but it's great to see them in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think they were actually data mined a while ago. There was actually a model for them in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with one of the waves. It was kind of added in there, but there's actually a more revised model that looks more in line with the art style of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm not sure if that original model was one like ripped from Tour or not, but the new bomb car model looks more in line with what you'd expect to see from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So it's cool to see that that's back. I'm not sure if they'll have the mushroom cars as well, like when you run into the mushroom car, it will kind of launch out of mushroom or something. Maybe when they add Mushroom Bridge, well, if they add Mushroom Bridge in Wave 6, because that's been speculated by some people, but it would be nice to see the mushroom car as well. But the bomb car is definitely a pretty iconic kind of Mario Kart obstacle. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Like, since the bomb car was in like Double Dash, Wii, and then there was also like a part that was similar to it in Mario Kart 64 as well. So yeah, it's great to see that the bomb car is finally returning in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about Moonview Highway overall. And then the last one in the Feather Cup is Squeaky Clean Sprint, which is the nitro track for this wave overall, kind of like how Sky High Sunday was. And like I mentioned in previous discussion videos, this looks very impressive. Like, it doesn't even seem like it was a track that was meant for Tour. Sure, if you do look at some of the fine details, you can see that some of the models do look a bit Tour-esque. But looking at a lot of the other angles closer to the track, and like looking at this whole track overall, it looks very nice, and it looks very optimized for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It looks very unique, and it looks really nice overall. I know the bathroom track was data mined quite a while ago, so it's great to see it here, and it looks really nice. I just really like the whole bathroom style, like themed around different like Mario things. Like, it has like the 8-bit Super Mario Bros. Tiling on the walls, like a superstar shower curtain, different like soap products and bathroom products themed around like different Mario characters. I think there was like a Goomba, like a rubber duck and a rubber Goomba thing in the bathtub, which was pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's like an actual like Goomba like sitting in the bathtub, or that's like just a bath toy Goomba or something like that. Because I know there were Goombas in Daisy Cruiser, so I'm not sure if this is like an actual Goomba or just a toy Goomba. But this is a very nice looking track overall, and I'm really excited about it. It's definitely pretty creative, and the detail looks a lot better than Sky High Sunday, which was very awkward. Like, I mean, the style for Sky High Sunday was cool, but it was not really well optimized for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So I'm glad we're kind of getting a track that seems to be better optimized and better fit for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And then moving on to the Cherry Cup, we're getting Los Angeles Laps, which is definitely a fan favorite for Mario Kart Tour. That's one that a lot of people have been wanting. And interestingly, it actually takes place more in like regular daytime rather than during the sunset. And while the sunset does look nice, I do feel like the daytime lighting for this course specifically in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe does look a bit better in terms of lighting for the game. I mean, I don't know how to exactly describe it, but just for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe specifically, it does, the colors seem to pop more in like just more of the daytime thing and everything. So yeah, it looks pretty cool overall. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this and seeing how the layout will be overall, because I think the layout is going to be pretty interesting. So yeah, the next one is Sunset Wilds, and that is another one that I've been wanting for quite a while, because they pulled it off pretty well in Mario Kart Tour, because it has the whole day-night cycle and everything that was kind of the gimmick behind Sunset Wilds in Super Circuit. And yeah, just in general, it is one of the most unique tracks in Mario Kart Super Circuit. Like, on the surface, it does look kind of like a generic desert track, but there is a lot of interesting components to Sunset Wilds that sets it apart from, like, other desert-style tracks, like the day and night cycle, the Shy Guys, like the, different things like that, some of the background elements. It just looks really cool, and it seems like they're putting a lot of detail into the textures for this track. Like, it kind of goes the same way for a lot of other GBA tracks in the Booster Course Pass, and this is definitely not the exception, because they're definitely putting a lot of detail into the textures here, so I'm really looking forward to Sunset Wilds. And yeah, the next one is another Wii track, and that is actually more of a fan favorite, which is Koopa Cape, which is pretty exciting. Even though I personally prefer Moonview Highway, it is really nice to see Koopa Cape here. And the only nitpick that some people might have about it, personally I don't mind too much, but it's the fact that it's going to have the Mario Kart 7 Mario Kart Tour underwater section, rather than an actual tube going through, like a tunnel kind of going underwater. That was partially the gimmick of the track in Mario Kart Wii. I mean, I liked the 7 and Tour versions of the track, and Tour especially, because I do feel like it improved the version for Mario Kart 7. But I could definitely see the criticism for the tunnel being more of like a half dome, kind of keeping you underwater, rather than an actual tunnel going through the water. So, yeah, I can understand that criticism, even though I don't mind it too much. It would be nice to have that kind of original vision intact with, how it was in Mario Kart Wii, but it is great to see Koopa Cape regardless, because this is one that a lot of people have been wanting. I've been wanting this one too, as well. And the only thing that might disappoint some people, well, not more of track selection with Koopa Cape and Mario Kart Wii in general, rather than the track itself, is the fact that it might roll out Dry Ruins. I can't say 100% for sure because the data mines haven't always been correct, but I don't think it's likely that we're gonna get 2 more Wii tracks after this. I think at most we're gonna get 1 more Wii track, and that's likely gonna be Wii Rainbow Road. So, yeah, I could definitely see how some people could be disappointed that Dry Ruins won't be included, since that was in Tour. But personally, I do prefer Koopa Cape, and yeah, I just like the selection of Wii tracks that we got overall, and I feel like we really did get a solid selection in terms of Wii tracks. Well, I would say an excellent selection of Wii tracks throughout the whole Booster Course Pass, since we started off with Coconut Mall, Mushroom Gorge, then Maple Treeway, DK Summit, and now Moonview Highway, Koopa Cape. We're getting all of the Wii classics in here. So it's just really exciting to see overall. So it's Mario Kart Wii is one of my favorite Mario Kart games. It was actually my favorite before Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, yeah, and I know that's kind of like, I know a lot of people think it's overrated, and the one everyone goes to say that's their favorite, but I just love Mario Kart Wii. It's the one that I grew up with. But yeah. And the final one is yet another fan favorite from Mario Kart Tour. It's kind of interesting that we got 3 city tracks this time, but personally, with how interesting they are, or how much of a fan favorite they are, I don't think it really matters that much this time. But the final one here is Vancouver Velocity. That's one that I've been wanting for quite a while, and I am so glad that we didn't have to wait until Wave 6 for this. Because this is my personal favorite Mario Kart Tour track. It's just great overall. The music is great, the aesthetic, the style. It's just a great track overall. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Vancouver Velocity. And I'm interested to see how they will have the layout with this track, since there is 3 different versions in Mario Kart Tour. So I'm really looking forward to Vancouver Velocity. And yeah, with the city tracks, I can definitely see why people are a little concerned that there are 3 city tracks this time, and then also Moonview Highway, but I feel like they're distinct enough, especially Athens Dash, to where they can kind of coexist without much trouble in Wave 5. And like with Los Angeles Labs and Vancouver Velocity, those are fan favorites anyway, so I don't think a lot of people will mind. But yeah, Wave 5 seems to have a very good selection overall. It's either fan favorites, really underrated tracks, or ones people have been wanting for quite a while. So yeah, the Booster Course Pass has definitely been getting even better. And one final thing that I wanted to talk about is the characters. And I just wanted to say, it's just absolutely amazing that we've been getting characters in the Booster Course Pass. I'm not even sure, like, why Nintendo, like, just started randomly adding characters here. I mean, I think it's partially because of the criticism. I mean, I think Nintendo actually does listen to criticism in certain instances, and the characters definitely add a lot to the Booster Course Pass, and I think it's definitely a great addition overall, and especially the characters this time. They seem to be pretty good overall. Like PD Piranha, that's one that I've been wanting for quite a while. since PD Piranha was originally in Double Dash and was recently added, like, I think last year, to Mario Kart Tour. So yeah, it is great to see PD Piranha in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, since PD Piranha hasn't been playable in that many games recently. I think, like, recently the last game that he was, like, playable in, fully playable, not counting, like, Dr. Mario World or anything, like, looking on the Mario Wiki, the last time is really Mario Tennis Aces, which was 5 years ago. Well, there's also Mario Kart Tour as well. But I'm just saying, as a full console experience, the last time PD Piranha was playable in a game on the Switch, or a console game in general, was Mario Tennis Aces. And then in terms of Mario Kart, the last time was Double Dash. So yeah, pretty cool to see PD Piranha back in a console Mario Kart game. Then Wiggler was added, which isn't even in Mario Kart Tour. Wiggler was in Mario Kart 7 in terms of Mario Kart. So it's great to see Wiggler, since Wiggler is always cool as a playable character, since he was in Mario Power Tennis on the GameCube, then Mario Kart 7, then Mario Golf Super Rush. So yeah, pretty cool to see Wiggler. And then Kamek, one that I've personally been wanting for the Booster Course Pass, along with PD Piranha. So yeah, it's great to see Kamek as well, since this is really the first time Kamek has actually appeared in a console Mario Kart game, even though Kamek was in Mario Kart Tour. That's not really the full console Mario Kart experience, to be completely honest. So it is really nice seeing Birdo in the Booster Course Pass and everything. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Kamek in the game. Kamek was actually originally scrapped from Mario Kart 8, so it's great seeing Kamek kind of make a comeback and actually be in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So yeah, anyways, Wave 5 is definitely shaping up to be my personal favorite wave so far. And in a lot of ways, it's going to be at least as good, if not better, than Wave 3 in track selection and track quality overall. Whereas other waves seem to have a fairly iffy track, or one that straight up wasn't good. Like Wave 1, it had a lot of very iffy or tracks that weren't very good, like Toad Circuit, Coconut Mall, even though that's a fan favorite, that was kind of plagued with a lot of issues. Tokyo Blur was like way too small. Broom Ridge had some problems. Sky Garden had some problems. Wave 1 was just not very good in my opinion, aside from a couple tracks. Wave 2 was definitely a lot better and was definitely an upgrade, but that still had like Mario Circuit 3 and then a couple iffy ones like Sydney Sprint. Even though that's a fine track, it kind of couple graphical visual problems. And then Sky High Sunday, which is pretty divisive. And then Wave 3, Rock Mountain was really the only kind of iffy one, but that was really only due to the textures, and Mario Circuit was like really the only one for Wave 4, but even, well, also maybe Amsterdam Drift was kind of debatable, but I feel like that comes down to preference. But Mario Circuit, it at least visually looked good, despite being a very basic track. But Wave 5, it doesn't have either iffy nor basic tracks. This is just full-on, just a great selection overall, and I'm really looking forward to it. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Amazon affiliate link if you want to. Goodbye.